Hello, welcome in. It's Shaped by Kate, and today's yoga practice is going to be a simple yoga with no inversions, so our head won't ever go below our heart. Let's get started in the middle of our mat, opening up your palms, standing in Tadasana mountain pose. Find your awareness and your breath for your yoga practice today. Practicing breathing long breaths as opposed to throughout our day, we tend to have really short breathing cycles. Switching up our pose, let's breathe in and find Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Keep your hands lifted and clasp them together, extending the index finger and thumb. Then inhale to reach and pull the shoulders high, and then exhale to hug the rib cage down. So you should be squeezing those biceps towards your ears and feel a nice tall stretch in your abdomen. Your next breath out, release your hands and let them fall by your sides to inhaling, reaching above, catching hold of one wrist and leaning the opposite direction, finding a side bend. Inhaling through that side, exhaling through the opposite side. Beautiful. Next, inhale, release, and do the same thing on the other side. Catch hold of the wrist, lean the opposite direction. Now fully stretching all sides of our abdomen and belly. Inhale to exhale, come back to center and drop those arms by your sides again. Let's find our first twist, bringing hands to hips, lean on your favorite leg and lift your less dominant leg and twist towards that bent leg. Pressing your opposite hand on your leg so you activate the outer edge of your thigh. Turn your gaze as far as you're able behind your shoulder. Exhale fully in that twist and inhale, come back to a standing position, finding the other side. Lift the opposite knee and twist towards that knee, pressing hand to outer leg, exhaling to fully twist and fully look behind your shoulder, feeling that twist all the way to your neck. Exhale to inhale to release that twist, coming back to mountain pose. I'll mirror you for this one. Let's cross our left leg over our right. Reach our arms to the sky and catch hold of our left wrist and lean to the right. Intensify the stretch by squeezing the inner legs together and finding more of a side bend, really adding that stretch all the way from your left fingertips to the outer edge of your leg. Beautiful. Exhale to release. Other side, right leg over left, arms to the sky, and lean to the left, finding that long crescent moon shape stretch. Inhale to reach, exhale to release, come back to center. Let's widen our stance now with those toes out, heels in to find our goddess pose. Point the tailbone down and sit into your goddess pose with those elbows tucking into the rib cage. Keep holding your goddess stance, and we're going to drop that left hand to our hip or our thigh and find a side bend. Inhale to reach your arm up to the sky and lean to the left. Finding a twist, breathe in, look towards the sky. Exhale, twist your upper body towards your leg. Inhale, come back to the side bend. Exhale, goddess pose. Other side, right hand on your hip or thigh. Left arm reaching up and over your ear. Breathing in to look to the sky. Exhale, twist, look towards your thigh. Inhale, come back to your side bend. Exhale, goddess pose. Slide the palms to the tops of the knees and let's find our twist, bringing one shoulder towards the center, looking the opposite way. The shoulder that goes through center, I like to keep straight and bend the opposite arm just so I find more space to twist. Beautiful. Let's come back through center and come away from that goddess pose. Nice job holding that pose and heel toe your feet back to a standing position. Now let's walk to the top of our mat with those toes out, heels in at a closer stance and sit in Malasana. This is just a transition pose to sit on our glutes. So if you're able, gently sit those hips back and drop to the earth. If you don't like that, kick your knees around and skip that transition. Let's now find our bow pose. Lift the heels and gently lean back. If you don't need those hands wrapped around your legs, go ahead and release and reach them forward. Find that steady breath. Hold and breathe. And then if you want to advance this boat pose, go ahead and lengthen the legs, pointing the toes up to the sky. If you need assistance at first, catch hold of the back of the legs when you do this, and then maybe trying to release, finding that full boat. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth or nose, and release. You can come back there or advance your pose. Catch hold of the toes, outer edges of your feet, or ankles. And we're going to lift back into that boat pose. So if you can't quite touch your toes in a fold, you can catch hold of your ankles or even your pant leg. You can also bend your knees if you're able. I'd rather have you bend your knees than round your spine. Hold and breathe gently, trying to relax those facial muscles as you're in boat pose or Navasana. Beautiful. Slowly bend the knees and drop the feet to the earth. We're going to find our seated cat-cows, so wrap your hands around the back of your legs and start to exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, and lean back. You can almost use your arms too to sort of tug and open up the spine. And then inhale, lift, open up your chest, look towards the sky, exhale back to that cat. Good. Move at your own pace and breath. If you'd rather find normal cat-cows, you can also come into a tabletop. This is just continuing our theme of keeping that head above our heart for this practice. Let's find a few more boat poses with a twist. You're going to sit up nice and tall, reach that right hand towards your left toes, ankle, leg, or even outer leg. Then inhale, exhale, twist to the left, reaching that left arm behind, and it can stay on the ground to support you. If this is too easy, lift your right leg off the ground and try to lengthen it too. And you'll notice my hand can come off the ground or lean on the ground so you feel well balanced. Good. Go ahead and twist back to center. Nice job with that boat twist. Reach that left hand to your right leg. Remember, you can also catch hold of your pant leg if you don't really like catching hold of the outer edge of your leg. Good, then twist to the right. Since you already know that advanced version, I'm showing you a modification. I typically like to show the harder version just because most of the time we don't really know our own strengths. Good, go ahead and come back to center. And now let's roll down onto our back. So scoot to the top of your mat and gently roll your spine down onto your yoga mat, finally coming on to our spines. We're going to find our supine lizard pose. So let's tuck that right knee into our armpit area, flex the foot to the sky, and catch hold of that foot with your right hand. If there's space, lengthen the left leg, and you'll see it's kind of like our upside down lizard pose. Keeping the right leg about 90 degrees and gently pressing the hand and foot together so you activate those muscles. Hold for about 3 long breaths, continuing to relax those shoulders and facial muscles. Now, if you don't really feel this stretch, really press that foot into your hand. Hand presses back as if your foot was actually pressing into the earth. Beautiful. Then exhale, go ahead and release that foot, sway the leg, and let's come to the other side. So bend the left knee towards your armpit, catch hold of the foot, and decide if you want to keep the right leg bent or straight. Here's also a modification of catching hold of the ankle. Just make sure you're not dropping that foot forward. You want it pressing towards the sky as if your foot was actually stepping on the ceiling. Let's find those 3 rounds of breath in your supine lizard. Take this last moment to add any extra activation if you tend not to feel this stretch. So press, press, press. And then exhale to release. Lengthening both legs, shaking out the toes. If you're comfortable, stay there, or we're going to find a supine butterfly. Bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, and drop the knees to the outer edges. If you typically use blocks for this pose, you can just actively lift those knees so it doesn't feel really tight or tingly in this stretch. And then I really want open arms, so let's find cactus arms in this pose so there's a nice long open chest. Now, depending on how long your breaths are, let's find about 5 to 8 rounds of inhaling in through the nose and exhaling out the mouth or nose. Beautiful butterfly, go ahead and lift the knees. From your laying down position, let's come up into a seated pose. When you get there, bring hands to heart center and take this moment to thank yourself for finding a nice simple practice, being gentle with that heart and head, bowing forward as respect to your practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.